Aha! It's time, baby! It is time. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. Why am I repeating myself? Don't know. Maybe drank a little bit too much tea. This dirty fucking tea over here in Helsinki, Finland is very actually strong. In fact, with that in mind, I would like to wish you the best of the best. Yes, that's right. And the happiest of the happiest on this nice little Tuesday afternoon. I think this stream might be a little bit on the shorter side today. I'm not so sure just yet. We'll see exactly what the situation is a little bit later, but I'm good to go at least for the time being. And with that said, is there anything to be spoken about on the Krown chain application that already hasn't been said on this morning's video? That I'm not so sure of, actually, as we pretty much see all of the same things here. The only thing actually, whoa, a big thing, a very big thing, in fact, we do see that openers actually spruced up about 350 million from this morning's video to where we're at right now. Bitcoin has head up about, what, $1,000 from the bottom side of the low-term time frame range, now breaking out on the short-term time frame range once again as well. So I do look at this as more or less a good thing for the short and medium-term time frames on that continuation drive, as we kind of have had that bias to the upside in the short and medium term timeframes, of which still those targets do still stand. And is there anything else that we really want to be calling out right now? Top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins, just a bunch of shit coins on both sides. Actually, no, Solana on the losers list right now. Other than that, though, really muted losses here. I suspect that this is nothing too egregious, nothing too crazy. And the Bitcoin dominance continues to head down ever so slightly. In the market data tab, what do we see over here? Do we see anything different? Funny rate on the next period. Actually, we do see several exchanges now with a negative rate. Again, another pretty damn good signal as Bitcoin does grind out the short and medium term timeframes, that we do see a little more upside from this region, as anytime that you do see funny rates at around parity or even negative, especially in the context of Bitcoin putting in some short-term timeframe higher low structures, I would be looking at this as yet again another continuation signal, again on those timeframes. Not to be confused with the higher term timeframes, of course, but with all of that in mind, everything does work with itself, and we have to kind of come up with a whole collusive view. Collusive? That's not a word. Motherfucker, man. My English is not working too well today, unfortunately. Looks like the coffee's already worn off, and so we're in trouble right now, so I'll try to make it as far as I can here. Anyways, yes. So looking at this right over here, and actually, no, let's go over to the short-term timeframes, because realistically, we don't really want to be updating the higher-term timeframes right now, because there's nothing really new to talk about there that already hasn't been spoken about on this morning's, yesterday's, and the day before that, and even the day before that streams. Anyways, with that said, on the short-term timeframes, yes, we are seeing the breakout out of the short-term timeframe range from this morning. Yes, I'm on an hourly right now as well. That is mostly because, well, mostly due to boredom, but you can see that, yes, Bitcoin did break the range, and I would be looking for the next upside trajectory targets to get hit somewhere around about $56,000, just above $56,000 is the next sort of major area that I'd be keeping a keen eye on. I'm curious if this also lines up with one of our fibs from this region as well. Let's pull it back over here. And what do you know? Actually, no. Oh, yes. Actually, that's a 0.5, right around $56,000. So I would be looking for a little bit of a short-term pullback right there. Personally speaking, I actually do think my English no work rel. What the fuck is this? Spliv? How you doing, Mr. Lee? Good to see you, brother. I see you, Crypto. Good morning to you as well. Dean Davies, Theory, Brewer, how you doing, my friends? There he is, Blackstorm, Manglish, Yadav, Gron Barca, how you guys doing? Holy shit, man. Anyways, and manly poetry. Hey, what are you? I'm an anon. Do. What is that? Kazukijian. Hello, good sir. Good to see you as well. Anyways, yeah. So going back on over here, while I would be having it as a more or less of a short-term target, I would be expecting a pullback from that region, a little bit of a consolidation lower. And personally speaking, I do think that Bitcoin very, very likely does go for the 618 here. Again, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish, I do think that Bitcoin does make a leg up there. That's around about $58,000. But this whole area between about 56.2 and 58.2 is an area that is fraught with peril, that I've been saying for a while now. While I do think that Bitcoin has, again, some short-term, medium-term upside, long-term timeframes, I am still very much defensive here as a trader, as anything below $60,000 will be just another lower high. And if we do have another lower high, then we have a confirmation of downtrend, as we have our first lower low for the first time in months, not just months, but like more than half a year, going all the way back to August, September over here. And even this one was barely even just that. Realistically, the last time that we had like a legitimate downtrend on the daily was, yeah, way the fuck back on in the beginning of 2020, or actually, yeah, during coronavirus dumb times, and of course throughout the end of 2019. Anyways, for what it's worth over here, we do see this is a rather large range, of course. So about 56 to about $58,000, $2,000 range right there. And it's just going to remain to be seen over time. Now, of course, we are going to see the end of the month here in about 4 trading days left. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, including today. Last day of the month is Friday the 30th. Saturday is going to be the first, so that means that we can start to prepare a little bit more for the monthly close, of which is there anything to be aware of right here, right now. As you can see, Bitcoin would be putting in what is known as a doji-ish dildo at the top. You might even call this spinning top, or you might just call this a Darth Maul dildo. Either which way that you do call it, in its current situation, its current stature, would be a signal of indecision. The first time actually in this whole run, in fact, which is rather profound, although it's not a death sentence in and of itself, and it's not even a death sentence overall. I do not think that Bitcoin is topped out on the macro. I do think that Bitcoin will move onwards and upwards from either this level here that we already hit at about 48,000 bucks, or a little bit lower, maybe somewhere down about 45 or 39,000 bucks. But ultimately, I do look at this as a sign of indecision, perhaps even reversal. And that does mean that coming into next month, we're going to have a pretty damn easy trade on the macro scale, at least in the way that I look at easy trades on high-term timeframes based off of this sort of structure, which is not my favorite way to do things. But in this case, I do think that it will work. And of course, again, with a few more days left in the trading month to go, this can obviously drastically change. And by the way, we will be at about a bodiless dildo, even around 58,500 to 59,000 bucks. So, it's quite a large range right here, but that doji will very likely hold true, assuming that Bitcoin essentially just doesn't break above 60,000 bucks, and simultaneously does not break below, like, let's call it 50,000 bucks again before the end of the month. As long as it kind of closes them like this, there will be a pretty damn easy and simple trade setup coming into the next month, that being May, and that would just simply be looking at the continuation above the high or the low of this monthly dildo. I know that someone's going to say, but Krown, that's ridiculous. Well, at the end of the day, yes, it is a little bit ridiculous because we are talking about a massive range right here, but we're talking about a massive range on the monthly. So we're talking about a macro schedule. So realistically, if we do see either side taken out, we can expect that there's going to be a big move in that direction for a decent trendy move, likely on the obviously on the daily, but probably up to the weekly. So to the upside, that's going to be continuation. That's going to very likely imply targets towards anywhere between about 80,000 to 90,000 bucks. To the downside, that's going to be likely somewhere between about 30 and 40,000 bucks if I had to guess. But for right now, a little bit too early to kind of judge it as of the current moment in time. But I would be keeping a keen eye on a couple of the things over here, of which actually I got rid of my Stokes. So Stokes technically were crossing down. But what I want to bring the eyes on right now is the monthly ADX DMI. The DMI Plus is technically dominant. Yes, it is well above the threshold, but you can see that it has had a negative slope for the last 1 to 3 months, actually. And while the ADX has been strengthening through this, and we have seen, generally a rally through this area as well, I would be looking at both of those in tandem if we see the ADX start to drop off and get a negative slope as well, as very indicative that Bitcoin is going to go through one of those more prolonged sideways and downside markets, given the bias towards the downside within the next month or two to come. And with that in mind, I would still be looking at those targets. Again, about 45,000 bucks would be the next one to the downside, and then about 39,000 bucks if that area does fail. Of course, at the end of the day, one thing before the next, and this market is going to take its time, obviously, but I do think that it is also worthwhile to take a look at the MACD histogram here too, as it's still increasing on its not its curvature, but on its momentum. But it's really not going to take much to actually get this on a little bit of a pullback from that momentum. As you can see, this is quite literally the highest that we've ever seen the MACD histogram ever, as you would suspect, when Bitcoin is, at a higher level than it's ever been, of course. But this is pretty fucking ridiculous in comparison to even the 2017 run over here. This is December 2017, by the way. This is what we're doing right now. And of course, obviously December 2017 looked like that in comparison to like 2013, 2014, which you actually can't even see on this chart. Got to go to the BLX index for that, which you can see over here. This is 2013, 2014. These are your 2017, 2018, and then this is your 2020 over here, right? So you can see that, there's a little bit of a rhyme and reason with it, but overall, I am a little bit more on the defensive within this region. Again, as long as Bitcoin's below about 60,000 bucks. Above 60,000 bucks, I'm happy to be massively fucking bullish. Again, towards, 80,000, maybe even 90,000 bucks. And like I've been saying, I don't think that Bitcoin's topped out in the macro either. I just think that Bitcoin could be in the potential death throes of a bit of death throes is the wrong word here, but in the, potentially looking at one of those more prolonged sideways and down markets. Again, I think that as a trader, this is, at least in my experience, the time to be defensive. So as it stands right now, again, just wrapping up the short-term timeframes, I'm still looking for upside right here. If we go down through all of the short-term timeframes, starting off with the 4-hour, what do we see? We do see the 200 exponential average coming in right under 56,000 bucks. That next sort of upside target for the short-term timeframes, or I guess more like medium-term timeframes right now. We got some of that phantom div going on here too, which again, is this technically regular bullish divergence? Absolutely not. You would never find this in a textbook, but I do see that these signals actually work out a lot of the time, which is very, very strange. I still don't have a working explanation for it, but more importantly, it works. at least it works enough, more than 70 to 80% of the time when it's on the same side of the trend. In this case, the trend on the 4-hour is to the upside, of course, as we do have a bit of a reversal right here. And what would that imply? Well, that would imply that this one does have a pretty damn high hit rate. So I would still be looking for a little bit of short-term momentum to the upside. That is going to be in tandem with the 4-hour TSI also getting back above the bullish buy zone, and obviously in an upside posturing as well. And if we go over to all the other lower term time frames, like the 3-hour, we can see that this is being built upon as well. 3-hour RSI getting the bullish control zone for the first time since middle of April, actually. So it's been about 2 weeks, in fact. Been quite some time. On top of that, we see same thing on TSI and Joules in a bullish posturing, but none of these are signals. These are all just, showing a little bit more continuation right here. Same thing on the bi-hourly as well. This one's a little bit more aggressive on the TSI and of course the Joule as well. Although the Joule is giving you a holier long signal right here based off of the buy signal that we saw on the 26th of April. That was actually one dildo after the actual low on the 26th. Hey, not bad. But more importantly, we are seeing that follow through. I am a little bit more skeptical on the RSI, but regardless of that, structure here kind of trumps all, and I would be looking again for a little bit more upside. Again, specifically on the short-term timeframes, we do see hourly basically falling through and leading all of these guys, as you would expect. Even some hidden bullish divergence on that last low that you do see right around here at about 54,450 to 54,500-ish region. So all this does look good in tandem with each other. And now I want to check out the SMI over here too, just to see if this is essentially lining up with it. And yeah, basically is. I mean, 4-hour SMI is still, actually it's not increasing right here, but it is still in a bullish posturing, obviously. 3 hours going to be doing the same thing. Actually did let go a little bit of its momentum there, as you can see over the past few bars, but still price action does move to the upside. Same thing on the bi-hourly and same thing on the hourly. And the hourly is already crossing back onto the upside here too. So what I'm led to believe by this relationship between all the lower term time frames right now is that we are seeing essentially a bit of a bullish reset for the short term time frame specifically, implying that Bitcoin probably does continue a little bit more here. And because Bitcoin did put in a nice little base here between the 53,200 to 54,300-ish region, or we could just call, well, let's just call it like 54 to 53 region. Technically speaking, not exactly accurate, but about $1,000 region right here. We can look at that as a bit of a basing area for price action now, meaning that as long as Bitcoin's above the breakout area for this, about 54,000 bucks, I am more or less bullish on the short-term timeframes, looking for that $56,000 target to get hit. And that would also imply that if Bitcoin does break it to the downside, that being 54,300 specifically, then I would be looking for Bitcoin to come all the way back down, at the very likely back down below 52,000 bucks. And at that point, you got to be looking at this potential lower high. Now, if we go to the daily, is this even like shaping up to be a lower high just yet? I mean, this would be a pretty ugly lower high in this region right here. I don't think, even if you're extremely bearish right now, I don't think that this is going to end up being a lower high right here just yet. If it's going to put in a lower high, very likely puts it in again somewhere between about 56 to 58. That is the kill zone. That is the danger zone, and and above there is also the takeoff zone as well. Again, above 60,000 bucks, I'm bullish as hell for the next trendy move, more importantly, but I'm happy to kind of either not play in the 56 to $58,000 region, or I'm happy to wait, and probably waiting is going to be the right call for myself, as I just want to unload and make sure that I have no real risk within that region if and when Bitcoin does get there, of course, as we've had a pretty nice bounce thus far, but it looks like it wants more. This daily did reject the bearish control zone pretty damn harshly on that small drive in there, so typically you do see these things get at the very least to the middle of the neutral zone, between the middle of the neutral zone and about the bullish control zone, and in this case still got a little bit more to even fill out that, and that's not even really saying all that much. So let's go to the 2-day and 3-day as well, see how this changes anything. No, not really seeing anything change here. In fact, we just see confirmation of yesterday's hidden bullish divergence call, which we see right here. Again, I'm going to have a natural target to the 10 simple at the very least. Guess where that is? Right smack dab between 56 and 58,000 bucks at 57,000 bucks. Fucking nice how that works out. So fair enough on that one. And what about the 3-day here too, which is actually closing today? It's actually gonna have a chance to reclaim the 20-minute exponential moving average as well. We spoke about this on this morning's video. Typically the first kind of closure below does get buoyed up on the next successive dildo on a trending market when you haven't been testing it for a long time. And in this case right here, we haven't tested it since, or it's not that we haven't tested it, but we haven't actually closed below it since September of 2020. So it's been a long time. It's been about a little bit more than half a year now. Yeah, actually about 7, almost 8 months. So fair enough on that one. And And again, that would imply a little bit of short-term upside here too. So with all of that in mind, it's really just continuation of the last few days that we've been speaking about in the short-term timeframes. It's more or less slow and grindy, but that is good to really bore the shit out of people, frustrate the shit out of the bears who are looking for the next lower high, frustrate the shit out of the bulls because moon boys need massive girthy green dildos in their face at all hours of the day. Otherwise they get antsy. And right now it's kind of a trader's market. This is the time to be playing options. This is the time to be playing ranges. This is the time to be, at least in my experience, selling premium, looking at the 60,000 to 45,000 or even 50,000 straddles there. I really like that one. There's a lot of premium on these two, and this is a nice options environment right now where you can actually benefit from the lack of breakout and the lack of volatility within this region right now, of which you can see very clearly that volatility actually is, or what is it doing over here? Let's go to a daily really quickly. Volatility is trending up right now, yes, but we're not really seeing anything out of the ordinary for right now. So I would say that that this is more or less just ranging as it is, and with that in mind, I don't really have any real reason to change any of the other prior analyses over the last few days here. It's more or less just continuation for right now. Anyways, we can go check out, or actually, I think maybe we can just get on to the comments now because we've gone over Bitcoin. We are already about 15, 16 minutes into this bitch. Let's go check out some caretaker ranges over here really quickly. I'm curious what he's suggesting this as. Hourly's in a strong bull zone, rising trend. I like that. Let's see what the 4 hour says as well. I imagine it's gonna be more or less the same thing. Yes, indeed it is. Guess where the target points are? 57 200. Fucking love it, man. So again, I do still like those areas. Let's see what the daily says here too. I don't suspect that the daily is going to be in line with that, but I am curious to see the daily. Very much revealing. In fact, he's identifying this as a bear zone strong falling trend right here, which I would agree with. But his salt target's actually going to be pretty much met, or actually already met right now. So that would be a little bit risky right there. Actually, would not take these trades, but then again, realistically, you should have been buying these ones over here and actually selling over here. So fair enough. That would be a little bit of a difference in behavior, but fair enough. Anyways, with that in mind, we'll go back on over here and we'll go read some comments. What's up, Philson? Philson says audio USD, please. Okay, let's check that one out. Let's see what we got on this thingy. I've never heard of this one. No, audio USD looking pretty good on the daily. A couple of things that I like going on right here, right off the bat. First off, it's a nice strong uptrend for the small amount of history that we do have. Again, not a very big fan of that, but fair enough. For the history that we do have, it is decent. Daily TSI crossing up right here. Good. Daily RSI rejection the bearish control zone. Also good, alongside a move back above all major moving averages. I'd be looking for a short and medium term move back up to the top side, or sorry, not the top side, but the middle of this range, somewhere around about $3 region, and then assuming that the whole market kind of keeps its shit together, I'd imagine this probably does set up over time. See what the weekly looks like as well. Weekly looks okay here. Again, not enough history to kind of give it a full look, but I do favor it, at least in the short and medium term timeframes, looking for a move somewhere around maybe just under like $3 or so, and then come back to it after that. Sarah Beasto says, good morning, Krown. Morning, Mr. Beasto. Amazon. Okay, yeah, we got some real stocks over here. Sweet. I actually get to look at something fucking different today, huh? Here we go. NASDAQ on, Amazon and NASDAQ. Looking pretty good here. Going to have an up open. Really constructive price action behavior right here. Obvious accumulation zone between about September 2020 and where we're at right now. This one actually looks like it might be ready to break to the upside. In fact, the reason why I say that is because of the way that the RSI is situated right here. When you see a consolidation right at the edge of the bullish control zone, when you are approaching your prior high of the range, which is simply just this. I mean, you really only need a couple trend lines here, if anything. It's going to be this area right here. This is obviously the low side of it. And you do have, your rising bottoms coming in there as well. But basically any sort of move back above here, which is pretty much going to open right at with follow through on the actual closure. Yes, I'd be looking for this as an actual breakout. And you can also see this in the HVP as well. So this is in an expansive posturing right now, which does imply that, well, if you are going to break out, you typically will be looking for, volatile price action. So I do like to set up right there. I do favor the upside. Weekly is also looking incredibly strong as well, and typically, just like a general sort of market knowledge right here, strong stocks typically rally into their earnings, and I believe Amazon has their earnings this week. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really pay attention too much to Amazon, but I think that it's this week. And by the way, now that we're on the weekly, really fucking good right here with the weekly TSI crossing up. In fact, even hitting the same trend line going all the way back from December 2018. Yeah, I like it. And I do think it's setting up for a breakout right here, right now. So where's the upside targets then? Well, in this case, we can take a very, very easy fib on this one. It's actually going to just be, I mean, technically this is called like the bullish rectangle, if you will. Areas of interest to the upside going to be 36.75, but that's only short term. Long term is going to be about around $4,000. Fucking crazy, but fair enough. I mean, this is one of the strongest stocks quite literally in the world. So there you go. Anyways, V Money says, please do a solid look at Doggy. I'm seeing a massive symmetrical triangle from 10 cents to 46 cents. Okay, this is going to be good. Please do a legitimate look at Doggy Coin. All right, man, I can do that. I can't promise that you're gonna like what I have to say. Okay, so is there a symmetrical triangle from 10 cents to 46 cents? First off, can we actually see what you're seeing? I'd have to respectfully say, fuck no. There is no such thing as an ascending triangle in this thing right here, right now. I have no idea what the hell you're getting that from. There is in no way, shape, or form, no stretch of the imagination, in no fucking alternative universe is there some sort of a triangle consolidation going on right here. There is something actually a little bit more interesting, and actually I would be favoring the upside for what it's worth right now. I do remember last week I did say I don't think that the top is actually in for this one just yet. I think it's very close to topping out, but I don't think it's there just yet. We do see a couple concerning signals, but overall what I favor here, or sorry, actually no, we do not have any. Where's our last low? Where's our last low? It's actually suggesting right down around here. Okay, so fair enough. Anyways, I actually would remain bullish on this one. Can I bring this down? Yes, there we go. I'd remain bullish on this one as long as it either remains above this low, which is 22.32 cents, or essentially as long as it's closing above the 21 exponential average as well. Obviously, it's going to, probably take out this low first before actually closing below the 21 in this case. But overall, this is a hard chart to hate because it is an uptrend, technically speaking. Is there an ascending triangle here? No, there's not. Is there any sort of triangle here? No, there's not. But you do have an uptrend, which is good enough. And while this is totally like a meme token or a meme coin that's quite literally used for fucking nothing. People will still play it, and there's no greater evidence within this market needed than Doggy Coin going to the fucking moon. That realistically fundamentals play a very, 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 very small role in day-to-day trading. Now, over the long term, yes, and over the long term, you're going to probably see this thing absolutely get fucking crushed. But that's the long term. For right now, it gets to join in the market's exuberance, and I actually don't think that the high is in just yet. I do think that this one, again, as long as it remains above this 25th of April low, I am looking for this one to just trade sideways for a little bit, get reaccumulated, see some of these momentum oscillators cool off a little bit more, namely the TSI, and see HVP come down a little bit more as well, go through a more sideways consolidation, and then pop back up to the prior highs and maybe make maybe two more highs. I still think 50 cents is within the cards, and I still think that 50 cents is probably going to end up being the macro high, but for right now, I give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it does take this low out right here, I would be looking for big moves to the downside. Very likely back down around your February 21 highs, which is down below 10 cents. So fair enough on that one. I'm actually curious what the monthly looks like as well. Yeah, the monthly looks good. I'm not bearish off this as it is. I think it's really fucking close. It's in fact very fucking close. But do I think that it has maybe another one or two more new highs? Very likely yes. So fair enough. Again, this is long term when we're looking at a monthly. To be fair, Vitaly Simonian says, "Hey, Krown, can you take a look at XVS USDT on the daily?" All right. XVSUSD. It's also kind of, this is actually not funny. This is actually a little bit sad, but as far as Doggy Coin goes, I had I don't know how I got there, but I got lost in a fucking Reddit hole where people were talking about how much money they've lost on Doggy Coin. It's like apparently the new thing on TikTok, which what the fuck is that? I don't even know. I'm a boomer apparently. Looking at XV, fuck off. Anyways, looking at XVS over here, I like it on the daily. Again, putting in a higher low right here, hidden bullish evidence off that last low. Next sort of piece of the puzzle I'd be looking for is daily TSI to turn around. Overall, though, I favor the uptrend, and I would be looking for this one to kind of grind its way sideways and up, back up to about $95, break out above $95, and can we come up with targets for this? Probably yes. I mean, it is a reaccumulation right here, so you're gonna have an area of interest right around about 120, and then you're gonna have an area of interest at around 175. It looks like almost 200, in fact. So. Oh, and I even have this as an ascending triangle right here, which, hey, what do you know? It's pointed up towards, towards those levels. Pretty damn good. Anyways, okay, all right. Let's scroll on down through here. We got Alexandru Pratt says, "Can you grief Can you give look at Polk Wealth on you need to see if it's could be making a base, please, sir, bruh. Thank you for using my preferred gender pronoun, bruh. All right. Sure. POLC versus fucking Ethereum. It's not even a regular Ethereum. It's wrapped Ether, which, look, man, you don't need to. Oh, fuck! All right. No. Very bad. Even got some hidden bearish evidence on that last high too, man. This thing's going for the full retrace. Back to shitcoin jail, motherfucker. I would be looking for this one to trade all the way back down to the lows that you saw in March. February, March. I think that this one's going to go for the full retrace here. Will there be bounces along the way? Yes, there's going to be bounces along the way. Nothing goes straight fucking down, but those bounces very likely get sold into, as this thing is not the picture of health and fitness right now. It's not looking very good. Hey, what's up, Robin Hanon? Dear sir, God bless you. And Elsa, thanks, man. Oh, we got some mushrooms and frogs. I know 5-MeO DMT, and I know Amanita muscaria. Sweet one. 4th USD. All right, I got you, brother. All right, 4th. USD. Let's see what we got over here on Binance. No history, man. Hey, look. There's no analysis to be done on something that's only been around for 4 or 5 days, let alone like fucking a few years. If I did have to give you an analysis on the 4 hour, you put a gun to my head and said, Krown, analyze this or die, I'd say I actually still don't even know. Let's go to an hourly. If I had to call it down, but I don't feel compelled by this. I don't feel confident. Look, you don't want my opinion on something like this, man. I have to shoot you straight. I don't think that I have any worthwhile idea about this asset here at all whatsoever. If you put a gun to my head and said Krown, call it, I'd say down, but that's just because it's an altcoin and because I've never heard of it before, rather than like anything actual technical. But I mean, for all the history that we do have thus far, it's got just a downtrend for the 5 or so days that it's been around. But again, man, I don't trust technical analysis on something like this at all. So I do apologize. I know that's not very helpful, but I don't want to speak out of my fucking asshole right now. Hey, what's up, Mr. Alex Switch? There he is, our lovely moderator. Do we have all of our moderators here? Nimbo's still hacking Elsa's computer, so that's good. Hey, what's up, Caretaker? There he is, our fucking man, my fucking man, and our fucking man, the man himself. And he also does have, he actually has an update, or not an update, but he has a newly reversed indicator, in fact, which I think I have even over here. Let's go see. My invite. Is it going to be my invite only? Or no, I definitely did favor it of. Yes, here it is. Fuck yeah. All right, let's check this one out. Okay, so Caretaker's actually made a reverse function for the troll underbands. See how this one goes. Wait, why? It's not being picked up right there. Hold on, let me take this one off. Okay, there we go. That's it. But where's the reverse? Hold on. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, okay. You have to do it like this. All right. So I actually probably shouldn't do that right now because that's going to be a little bit too much to figure out on an actual live stream. But I'm sure that I'll figure that out a little bit later tonight, and then we'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. But very, very cool stuff coming from the indicator, or sorry, coming from the Caretaker on a newly made indicator. And yet again, it looks like it's going to be open source as well, as I do see that everything's revealed there. So that is looking pretty damn cool, man. All right. What else do we have here? Is it Satan Slayer time? I think it is Satan Slayer time. Let's see what he's got. Satan Slayer says, good morning, sir. Good morning to you as well. Greetings from the Jersey Shore. The Jersey fucking Shore, huh? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard anything about that show in ages, man. Remember Ronnie and... No, I really remember Ronnie. No, in The Situation. Yeah, that guy. I wonder where they're at right now. That would be a good documentary to do. Can you take a look at Barn Bridge Bond USD? Okay, so is a symbol bond? Is this what you're looking at? Bond USD. Okay, this is what you're looking at. Trades on Poloniex can't be that bad. I mean, they are regulated. Oh, fucking hell, man. What the fuck? Sir, come on, man. Look at this. On an hourly, this thing goes like hours and hours and hours without not seeing a single goddamn trade. This is not what you want to be looking at, man. When you put it on a daily, yeah, it smooths it out a little bit more, but the devil is in the details on this one. Anyways, Satan Slayer, the devil's in the details. What the fuck does that even mean? Okay, you're saying okay, you said specifically on Uniswap. All right, we'll go to Uniswap. Uniderp on this one. Let's see, where's my Uniswap? There it is. All right, let's see. Is this one better on the lower term time frame? Somewhat, I guess. It's still very lackluster, but somewhat better, I suppose. We can make a few more excuses for it. Anyways, okay, so you're looking for lower time frames and 12 hour. Okay, 4 hour is going to be the lower term time frame for me. What's going on over there, sir? What are you doing, sir? Let's see. Really, really weird chart here. I need to put this on my main charts actually in order to see a little bit better. Oopsies. Okay, let's see. Let's try this one over here. Little bit of short-term upside. I'd be looking for a move towards like maybe 45.5, but it does look like this one is a... Yeah, it does look like it's a loser. Long term, I'd probably be looking for the downtrend to continue. I don't like this sort of very floaty and flighty volume signature that you see on all of these. I mean, this is very, 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 very low liquidity altcoin here. So, you know, I do think that has a short-term pop-up. You know, even on the 12-hour could very easily pop up to, yeah, about 42.5 bucks. But overall, everything that, you know, everything that I'm looking at right now does give it a long-term downside bias. 12-hour does have a death cross as of about a month ago, not too long. But overall, I play this one to the downside as long as it's below the 21 exponential average on this time frame. I'm curious what the daily looks like as well. Again, I don't feel too compelled by this, but a little bit of short-term upside followed by I'd still be looking for more or less long-term downside. Hidden bearish evidence on the last couple highs right here, not necessarily the sign, not necessarily the best sign overall. So I'm not a big fan of this one, but again, I don't feel too confident on this one either. These very obscure altcoins that have very, very low history, I really hesitate to give like an you know, an opinion on, just because I don't feel confident with them and they really don't have that much going for them, and they do trade very bizarrely, and they have been known to kind of pump out of nowhere too. But this one, you know, if I did have call it downside, would be the name of the game. Chimera says, hey Krown, can I ask you to please check out Link USD 4-hour? Yep, I got you. Let's see. We got Link over here, 36.5. Let's see what Link is looking like right now. Link's looking good. I'd be looking for Link to pop back up towards about 39 bucks. Weekly is... Okay, weekly's looking very interesting here. Weekly's looking very, very interesting to me right here. You kind of have that same play that we spoke about on Bitcoin's monthly potentially available, but what's even more interesting than that, I actually thought that I saw some hidden bullish divergence there, but we actually don't. But more importantly, we do see that the weekly is getting back into the bullish control zone, and weekly TSI is going to have a chance. Actually, no, it's not going to have a chance to cross over this week, unless if it closes above 44.1/3. But overall, I do favor this one just because it has been one of the best acting charts. Daily kind of tells the story on this one. Hidden bullish divergence off that last low, continuing with the uptrend, and daily TSI, if this one starts to curl up and turn to the upside, it's probably not going to happen today, but maybe the next few days, then I would be looking for a retest of the prior highs, about 43 bucks, and I'd still be sticking with my $50 target on this one, more long term. Yeah, I'm still looking at 50 bucks, and then I kind of pause again there. But you did ask about a 4-hour too. What's 4-hour looking like? 4-hour looks fine to me right here. A little bit of an ebb and flow in the market, but generally speaking, I feel better about the daily on this one, to be fair. Short-term time frames, I don't really have a strong of an opinion on, to be quite honest with you as well. Let's see what else we got, baby. What else do we have, sirs and zers? We got Tokyo Channel. What's up, Tokyo Channel? Hey, Krown, can you take a look at Mona USD? I actually trade versus the yen, but TradingView shows more history versus the USD pair. Okay. All right. Mona, let's see. The Mona Derper over here. All right. We got Mona USD right here on Trex. Let's see how it acted in the last 24 hours. Yeah, okay, this is what I thought was going to happen yesterday. So it did seem like yesterday was the right call. So look at this Tokyo Channel. We do see that hidden bullish evidence is extremely likely to get confirmed today. In fact, I'd say that it's already confirmed, because this, you know, what is this, the 25th of April right here? I mean, that's just like illiquid bullshit on, on an altcoin, right? Overall, this one's very obviously confirmed another higher low, and I would be looking for this one to continue on with the current rally. Next sort of signal I'd be looking for is on daily TSI to turn up as well. That's going to be the actual trending move, but for right now, it's looking very strong back around resistance, and this is why I was very hesitant to get bearish on this one yesterday. I do remain I do essentially remain of the same opinion yesterday. I think that this one does continue onwards and upwards. The only way that I get bearish on this one, the only way that I get bearish on this one is with any sort of a daily closure below about 235. If that happens, yes, I'd be looking for this one to just play all the way back down to your lows in early March. But for right now, man, it's looking a lot more like upside, especially with the way that the mark's kind of setting up right here too. So I do more or less favor this one, especially on the dailies specifically, that is. Okay, did I miss anything else? I think I did. Yes, there he is. Hilpati Hippon. Am I saying that properly? Hopefully I am saying that properly. I have an American tongue, man, and so I can't pronounce many names in this world. Apologies for that, but I didn't choose where I was fucking born, man. I just got shot out of my mother's pussy, and I had no fucking idea what was going on, man. Anyways, he's asking for ARR. Okay, ARR. USD. Looks like it's not on TradingView. Oh, no, you got 3 R's there, not 2. Okay, let's try this. It's literally Pirate Chain. All right, well, we got fucking Doggy Coin already mooning, so let's just moon all the goddamn memes. And what do you know? This thing's mooning as well. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to actually print new all-time highs. Oh my god, I'd actually be looking for this bullshit coin to print new all-time highs. Again, probably a completely useless coin if I had to guess, but do I think that there's more upside here? Yeah, I do. Is there hidden bullish divergence on the daily? Yeah, it is building up right now on a massively higher low as well. Kind of have to favor that, man. I'd be looking for a short-term retest of the high at 13.5. I'd probably be looking for new all-time highs after that. I don't have any targets to give on something like this because I do not think that targets will work on something like this, but I actually do think that you will see new all-time highs on this thing. Just going off of psychological numbers, probably $20 is going to be an area of interest, followed by 22.5 to 25. But overall, I actually do think that this one does have some new all-time highs. Again, the weekly kind of tells the story alongside the daily momentum signals right there. Have you been doing any traveling up north in Finland? Actually, yes. We went on a really cool ski trip in February or March? February, I think it was, to Lapland and did some skiing and snowboarding. Fucking loved it, man. It's so gorgeous up there. We stayed in this really nice hotel too. It was great, man. I love that because, like, I grew up in cities and whatnot, so I never really got to experience like the great outdoors and the wilderness and everything. And so Finland is perfect for that because you got the nature all the way around you. I mean, even in the city here, Helsinki, I just take like maybe, I don't know, a 10-minute walk outside and I'm already on the fucking beach. It's great. I love it, man. I fucking love it. Yeah, a lot of beef eating too, man. You know what I do? Here's my meal. I get a kilo of salmon and a kilo of beef, and then I mix it together and cook it up, and that's meal number 1. And then I do it again for meal number 2. And it's great. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. I can tell you that for sure. Anyways, moving on. Jonathan says, blessings be upon you and fair Lady Elsa. Well, I'll tip my fedora to you, sir. Thank you very much. And I hope that you have a very swell day as well, my good man. Anchor USD. Okay. ANKR USD. Binance, please, 4-hour and daily. If possible, Elsa screen appearance. You've been summoned, sir. You must appear on screen, sir. Elsa, she says someday. All right. Well, she's being shy right now, so fair enough. You can find her on TikTok, though. Oh, guys. Okay. You want to follow Elsa? Go find her TikTok. It's. All right, I won't give it away. All right, fine. Look, you can probably figure out the fucking name of her TikTok. Jesus Christ. Anyways, looking at the 4-hour right here, looking good, popping above all major moving averages. I'd be looking for this one to have a medium-term move back up to about 17 cents. You also asked about the daily as well. Daily is looking good. I do think that the daily, especially TSI, is setting up for a little bit of a signal here. Again, as long as it's in the bullish bias zone, I do look at this alongside our short-term price action to very likely pop back up towards those prior highs. So medium term, 17 cents. Daily, very likely does retest those highs. Any sort of a closure above 19 cents, and I'd be looking for the next upside targets to get hit, of which I have an area of interest here at around 27 cents. Yeah, between 27 and 27 and 28 cents right there. So I'd be looking towards. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, I feel like I missed a few other things as well. Abbott Dynamics says, hello, sir. By chance, could you try to convince Mr. Nimbo to post? Oh, okay. Yes, I need to go back on that. Okay, so I have a massive apology to issue right now for what we spoke about on this morning's video. So I was wrong, or well, Nimbo was wrong, but I did say that as well myself. As far as the Tesla news, so what I said on this morning's video was false. We actually, or Nimbo went into the details on it, and apparently with the way that accounting works when it comes to Bitcoin and those sorts of assets, because they're not fiat currencies and they don't get really treated like that on a balance sheet. There's a lot of like weird accounting principles that can be applied to that, and it made it look like it was something else when it actually wasn't. And so we were definitely wrong about that. It was about 10% of the Tesla's holdings that they did sell. And one of the things that I can push back on a little bit here would be the sense that people think that Elon sold his Bitcoin. He actually didn't sell his Bitcoin, apparently, or at least that's what he said. It was Tesla, not Elon, of course. But yes, it was 10% or about 10% of his balance sheet, and it looks like they had an average price of about $55,000, for example, as well. Okay, cool. Thanks and shout out to the sleuthing, my fucking man. Josh says, drink water, homie. Oh, my fucking man, generous Josh. Perfect timing as well, because my throat is wrecked. But Elsa, I need your blessings right now. Get yourself a girlfriend who will bring you water. It's good, man. Thank you for that, brother. Faraz says, long time no see, sir. Hope all is well. Hey, man, hope all is well with you. And holy fuck, man, blast from the past. It's always really, really cool for me whenever I see someone who's, who I've known now for like two plus years. It's fucking crazy. Like these like longitudinal relationships, man, like they actually do stick with you. And it's even crazier to me because I actually remember everyone who I've seen everyone who I've had like an ongoing conversation with, in the first and second year of operation of this place. I almost always remember them. Actually, I always remember them, in fact. Colin McCann says, just joining. Did you go over the death cross test on the 4-hour Bitcoin CME? First off, what's up, Mr. Colin? We can go over that right now. Actually, no, we did not talk about that. And the reason why I did not talk about it is because this is not the death cross that I'd be looking for right here. Okay, so Colin, you are in the program, so I know that you have access to this information. When you see a death cross like this in price action far away and it rallies kind of up into it in this case right here, I don't look at these ones as playable. What I'm looking for is something very specific, and I'll go show you a very specific read that if we can find one, which is going to be a very long time since the death cross hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, we had one over here. Again, this one obviously a very obvious bad one, as it's very, very far away from price action in comparison to, well, actually, we can just look at the golden cross over here. This one's a little bit further as well, but it did eventually hold up. Let's go over one that actually is perfect. Here we go. This is what you're looking for. These are the obvious ones. These are the ones that I absolutely love to fucking trade, and these are the ones that I have no problem waiting around for because they are typically phenomenal trades. And as you can see right here, we got the green 55 and the purple 200 crossing alongside price action, testing it pretty much simultaneously. Those are the ones that I love. And as you can see, just a couple days later, Bitcoin goes from 9,400 to $11,500. Not bad. Let's see. Do we have another example prior to that? This one over here is okay. It's not great. It's just okay. What about? Oh yes, this area right here. Do you remember this one? This one was okay as well. So we can go back to price action right now, and Bitcoin is essentially testing the 55. So here's what I'd say, Colin. I do not think that this is going to work out in the way that you typically look at a death cross to play out at. What I would say though is that if this is going to play as the death cross that I think a lot of, if you are watching this chart right now, that a lot of people want to see, what you're looking for is a clean rejection of the 55. If Bitcoin closes above the 55, extreme red flag that this is not going to work. If Bitcoin closes above the 200 exponential moving average, just a few $100 higher than that, not extremely likely. It's not a red flag. That is a extreme. It's not even a warning at that point. It's not going to work out. It's extremely unlikely to work out at that point, and you're probably going to see a rally go up the other way. A lot of the time, you see these kind of crosses. Baited in the opposite direction. And to me, when I see a drop like this, that's very abrupt, and it's not like that grinding down a price action, and then price action kind of pops back up to test it as you do get the cross. Works both to the upside and the downside. I typically don't like those reads. I typically do not find that those work out all that well. Ketos, sir. Ketos, Elfscreen. I will take another sippy sip now, and then we'll talk about this a little bit more. Oh man. I see you, Frank Garcia. I fucking see you, Frank Garcia, sir. It's good to see you, man. All right, so Colin, what I would say is that if you are gonna play a death cross like this, which you can play it as a trade idea. I mean, there's a risk reward here, obviously, and there's a very easy way to know if it's going to not work or if it is going to work. I would expect to see a rejection literally right here. I need to see a lower high be printed pretty much right here. Do I think that's what's happening? No, I don't. I think Bitcoin's going to rally up a little bit more and then probably play out some downside if it wants to play out some downside. But for what it's worth right now, if I actually were to take this trade, if I was looking at this as my edge right now, which it is not my edge, I would actually be looking at this as the perfect entry right here, right now, because you just got a test on the 55. And essentially, if you're playing something like this, you need price action to be closing, well, of course, below the 55. It's going to, remain below there as well. Otherwise, naturally, they will converge on each other, and then you'll just get a golden cross the other way. And that's probably going to be the real one, right? So my point is, Colin, is that if you are going to play this one, I would not play it myself. But if you are going to play this one, you have to be very, 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 very quick to take off that position and potentially even flip to the other side. If Bitcoin starts to close above the 55, big warning flag. Above the 200, no questions asked after that time. Risk is off. at least for the time being. So fair enough. You know, you can make it work. I just don't think personally that one's going to play out. You know, it just based off of past behaviors. So fair enough. All right, we got Young Choi says, hello, Krown. Hello, Mr. Young Choi. Can you do ENJ USD and ENJ BTC? Just one would be a lot more preferable because there are a lot of people here right now. But I don't know, man. Let's see how fast we can get through this one. You did not give a time frame, so I'm just going to go to the daily. Daily versus the Bitcoin pairing. I like hidden bullish evidence off that last low. Daily TSI also setting up for a little bit of a move right at the zero read. I typically like these moves a lot. I'll be having a short-term move back up to about 5,000 to 5,100-ish. And you know, more medium term would actually be targeted right around your last prior closing high at about 5,900-ish region. Long term on a weekly, it doesn't look too great on a weekly. It looks like a pumping up on the weekly. Let's see what the USD parents looks like. We'll do this one right here just really quick. Same thing, very, very similar chart as far as the more immediate price action goes. And I'd be saying about the same thing as well. I'd be looking for a medium term move up to about 285, 290 maybe. And, you know, greater target somewhere around about 340 to 350-ish region. Could this be a continuation posturing? Could be, yes, but if we go down to the very low term timeframes, I'm a little bit more skeptical of it. So I think I'd rather just talk about the short and medium term timeframes of it. Okay, cool. What else do we have? Whoopsies. I see we got Ali. Where's Ali? Ali Musavi says AMD weekly. Ooh, we got AMD, my least fucking favorite computer semiconductor or CPU creator of all goddamn time. Stupid ass AMD computers always break down. I fucking despise them. I've had 3 of them now. They've all been garbage. They've all been trash, and I could not express any more grief with their shit than what I'm expressing right now. It has been a massive headache with this bullshit. Anyways, Elsa's computer actually just shut down earlier, which is why I'm poo-pooing this stock right now. As far as the stock goes, it looks pretty damn good. Really fucking good. Really great chart, actually, long term. Let's see how far back this one goes. Yeah, so it is in blue sky breakout kind of territory, I believe. Yep, yes, indeed it is. And what do you know? Looking at the weekly right here, what do we see? Hidden bullish divergence coming off that last low, back above the exponential. Weekly TSI is looking like it might even curl around at the zero read as well. I mean, these are all really good fucking signals for continuation phase. I'd be looking for a medium term move back up to about 94-ish region, 93 to 94, and probably long term is just going to make new highs, man. $100 is certainly not out of the question. In fact, I don't even think it's going to stop at $100. Probably shoots up to like 110 over time. Daily Jewel is a hot or long signal. I like that one. Daily TSI also giving a bullish signal as well, back above the zero read. Yeah, good. I do like it. I like it, sir. I like it a lot. All right, cool. Tokyo Channel says, Krown, I appreciate your hard work every day with the stream. After a long day, it's great to listen. Hey, man, I'm really glad to hear that. Listening on the monorail right now. Fuck yeah, man. Man, someday, Tokyo Channel, we got to actually have like a one-on-one convo because I need to know some certain things about Japan because I really want to go there. Elsa and I both really want to go there. And I feel like Japan is one of those places where you need to know someone in order to like actually experience it properly, because I actually hear that Japan is not very welcoming to outsiders and foreigners, and we might stick out like sore thumbs over there. So it'd be good to like, you know, actually know someone on the inside. Anyways, Rookie Bobby says, how about a peek at FTM USD? FTM, where does this name sound familiar from? Is this Phantom? It is Phantom. I'm thinking about Factum though. What's going on there, sir? Did you get it back? Did you get it back? No? Uh-oh, we got computer problems over here. Anyways, looking at the daily for FTM, this one popping back above the range. I do like that. Again, a little bit of it's starting to make me think that maybe Bitcoin pulls this too. I mean, this is essentially what I'm looking for Bitcoin to do, but this is very unlikely to stop here. I think that this one continues. This is a strong read. Weekly is very fucking strong. Have to be looking for an all-time highs on something like this, in my opinion. Looking at the daily right here, you know, yes, probably short term it does play down a little bit. Did you ask about oh yeah, you did ask about the daily. I'm gonna go to a 4-hour really quickly. Yeah, I do think that it pulls back a little bit from here. Could very easily pull back down to like 41 cents region, but daily is still strong overall. I'd really want to see daily TSI get above the zero read, but in general, I think that this one very likely does pop back up to the top side of the range, 63 cents and probably beyond. Weekly is kind of telling the story on this one, as is, I imagine, the monthly. Yeah, if the monthly closes anything green, I'd be looking at that as a yet again another continuation signal for new all-time highs. Is this one getting close to putting in the all-time high here, or at least a major high? I think so, yes, but I am leaning towards at least one more drive here for the time being right now. All right, you love pizza. I fucking hate pizza, by the way, man. It destroys me. At least I hate what happens after pizza. The pizza part's actually pretty good. Eating the pizza part's pretty damn good. Daily and 4-hour chart for Matic. Okay, Matic. People haven't been talking about Matic for a while. I wonder why that is. Has it lost its luster or something? Nope, looks bullish as fuck. What the hell? Why are people not talking about this day and night? This is insane. Very, very powerful chart right here. One of the better charts that we've seen today, in fact, and we've actually seen a lot of good charts today, so that's saying a lot. This one is breaking out as of yesterday. We do see daily RSI back in the bullish control zone, playing at the same sort of hidden bullish divergence over here. Daily TSI is looking at this. So if you've been paying attention to like the last, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, we've gone over several charts that look very similar to this chart, but this one's a little bit more advanced. So it's definitely on the leader category for this market right now. We do see that same hidden bullish divergence plus the TSI signal that we've seen on several other ones. This one obviously already playing it out. This one's already breaking out. And do we have targets to the upside on this one? Well, we can actually make some based off this prior range here. Nothing too scientific on this one. Looks like we're hitting the 272. Oh, nice. Hey, look at that. Sometimes those fib bullshit numbers, sometimes they actually work. So yes, typically speaking, this one will push it back for a short-term move. Plays between the 2-spot 272 and the 2-spot right here. That's between about 62.5 to 59, we'll call it. Long-term though, I do keep a keen eye on the 2-spot 618. That's 67.5 cent. That's the big one for me. Could be a major high around there, but for right now, we actually do see some concerning signals, but I do think that it has another melt to the upside first, and then I would be very, very defensive on this one. But you also asked about a 4-hour. 4 hours continuation right here too. It's looking good. It's looking good, man. All right, Elka Bong rides again. Elka Bong, you have a great name, sir. Hi, Krown would be interested in your analysis of Uni USD on the 4-hour and daily. Okay. Uni USD. Let's see. We got Bayonets right here, and you want a 4-hour and daily. 4-hour is looking like continuation, but let's get a fuller picture, maybe better said. Very similar to Matic. This one already breaking out as well. Looks good. We see the same signals all across the board. Hidden bullish divergence on the lows, back into the bullish control zone, plus daily TSI turning up. Again, I really like these in tandem with each other on expanding volatility right there, while also creating new all-time highs along that. I mean, that's strength in and of itself. I know you asked about a 4-hour and daily, but the weekly is telling me that this one's getting ready to trend once again, or is in the process of trending. Come up with a couple of targets here. Looks like an area of interest at around just under $50 at around about 48.5. 45 would be a short-term area of interest to the upside, but overall, I do think that this one does essentially stab up towards about 48.5 to probably even $50 if I had to guess. 4-hour. Yeah, it's just kind of continuation right here. Looks good. Looks very good. Bitcoin. Oh my God, it's getting shitted on. It's pulling back like crazy right now. We have red doodles flying in at every goddamn angle. This is insane. Shitcoin, please have taken Bitcoin back. And is this market over? I'm bored as hell. $500 move right there, and barely even fucking registers. I don't know. Maybe that CME death cross is playing out right now. It could be. It could very well be. If I can make this chart even come up, that would be even better. See how this one actually shapes up right here. But pay attention right now, because if this is going to shape up, you actually do have a pretty easy trade using the top side of this dildo as a risk management point. Very likely, because it's also going to be a continuation on the other side too. Abbott Dynamics says, how about GME? Oh man, you want to look at GameStop? Okay, GameStop's kind of a fun one right here. How about GME on the 12-hour? It's been a while since I've heard your opinion. Sort of looks like a symmetrical triangle. It does look like a symmetrical triangle. I would agree with you. On the higher term timeframes here, yes, it actually would. It kind of would look like that, yes. But I don't think that while this one's going to bounce around and have some of these popcorn rallies, ultimately I don't think that this one's going to be doing anything of particular note. Yes, it does look, from a TA perspective, actually okay here, but just general market knowledge perspective, I think that this one generally joins based off of the strength in Nasdaq, SPY, and in just the broad market indices. But do I think that this one's going to join like a melt to the upside? No, I do not think so. I think it's got some short-term upside. Nice up open today. In fact, very nice up open today. This thing can play between about 150 and 300 for a while. Yeah, or sorry, not even 300, about 275, 250 to 275 to the upside. But for right now, yeah, I would be looking for another short-term upside move here, but this is going to get dragged on for a while. These games are probably going to be played for months here, maybe even like another half year to a year. This can take a long time, but for right now, next move very likely is the upside. I would be looking at a target somewhere short term around about just around $200. More medium term would be somewhere around about 230ish region. But yes, I actually would be looking for some short term upside right here. Long term, though, do I think that this one is going to bulldoze through those prior all-time highs and make new all-time highs on pretty much a dead company? Probably not, no. But again, another example that fundamentals within this market are secondary to just trading in general. Like fundamentally speaking, is this thing, should this thing even be trading anymore? I mean, yeah, kind of. But at the same time, like, it's, who goes into a fucking GameStop anymore? Pretty much no one, right? I mean, it's kind of a dead company in some ways. Definitely not not deserved of this price action right here. But hey, man, games can certainly be played, and they are being played, and I imagine this is going to go on for a long time. And when I say a long time, I mean, this can take another year for it to get fully resolved, but it will very likely end in tears. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing not just down below $100 within the next year, but actually below like $50, somewhere down around about $25 to $30. Okay, Basil Jabber says, Kramer, like Jim Cramer, he's cool. I'm a fan. I want to get him on the. I would like to do an interview with him, but unfortunately, he has better things to do like laundry than speak with me. Oh, like Seinfeld. Well, fuck off then. Just kidding, of course. Adam says, greetings, wise sir. I'm just a regular sir. Could you take a look at Enbridge, ENB? Okay, this must be another stock here. Okay, ENB. Yeah, Enbridge on, oh, this is a Canadian stock. Okay. Or do you want to look at, okay, let's see. Maybe we look at New York Stock Exchange instead of Canada. But these are the same names, I believe. ENB. Okay, ENB right here. Okay, Enbridge. We got Canada and New York and American exchanges. See if they look the same, because sometimes I've actually seen that these do not look the same amongst different world exchanges here. Nope, but they look more or less the same. I do like this actually long term. You are kind of within a falling channel, and over a long term chart, especially in traditional markets, I actually do like channels, both a falling and rising variety. Something like this is what you're looking at right now. In cryptocurrency land, I don't like channels that much. I don't find that they work out all that often, but in this case right here, I do favor this one long term actually. Anyways, you're okay. Take a look at on the daily, weekly. Stopped watching for a while, but can't stop watching your streams. Hey, man, all good. Anyways, let's see. Daily is looking like it has another drive to the upside. It's looking a little bit tired on this rally, to be fair. Let's see what momentum also is looking like right now. Yeah, hidden bullish divergence on that last low. So I would favor the short-term upside, but I do think that your upside is limited here. I do think that somewhere around this level, in line with your highs from about March 2020, actually. This is going to be the 3rd, 4th of March in 2020. Also kind of aligning with this ascending trend line from the last few highs. Does likely find the next high on this asset here, $39, and this one very likely does take its time to resolve. This one can take a few years to resolve this channel here, as you can see. If I put this on a monthly, this is this is not coming to a volume apex anytime soon, as you can see. This one's going to be filling out for some time actually. I'd say the apex is in January 2025. And statistically speaking, you're likely looking at a breakout somewhere over here in like late 2022, like October, November in 2022. So I'd be looking for it to test the top side of this and probably falter below it, and then play out some more sideways, and later on probably does break to the upside. I actually do like this structure from a long-term perspective, but kind of a difficult one because it's like daily. Yeah, I'd be bullish on this. I do think that this will very likely stab up towards about 38 and a half to $39. But do I think that it breaks out from there and retest these prior highs over here? No, I do not. I think that this one eventually just plays out the channel for a lot longer, if you will, especially based off of the way that volatility is looking right now too. Rafael Fernandez says, what does he say? Hold on, I can't. Jesus Christ, man. There's some altcoin chillers in here too. That's crazy. 420, there he is, man. Talk about OGs of the cave, man. There's definitely one. Let's see. Okay, I feel like, yes, there he is. Raphael says, hi, Krown. What's up, Raphael? Please review ESS, small cap, where I have a big position. Okay, is this a crypto or a stock? This, or if it's going to be a crypto, it's probably like this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I dread looking at this right now. It's on Finex. You don't really see, I never really see anyone trading on Finex any longer. I'm gonna guess it's probably the stock, honestly. I'm gonna guess it's probably the stock, because you probably would have included like a base pairing for it if it was not. I'm gonna guess it's probably this one right here, and this looks a lot more reasonable as far as an asset goes in this case. Yeah, I like it for right now. Do you think this one has a little more short-term upside? Probably back up to just above 300 bucks. It's pretty much already there. What time frame are you looking at though? I need some time frames to really give you or really have a better idea of where you want to go with this one. Generally speaking though, I do like it uptrending on all higher term time frames. Daily RSI back into the bullish control zone, daily TSI pointed up right now. So I do think that this one will have a little bit of a stab north to about 305.5. Probably does play out a short-term pullback from there. But long term, I do favor it. Golden cross on the weekly, so I am bullish on this one. And weekly RSI actually just freshly getting in the bullish control zone here. I really like this sort of setup on the RSI. You even see a bit of an ascending triangle right at the edge of the bullish control zone. I almost always take those signals actually, and I really do like them long term alongside a moving average cross like this. So I probably would be targeting the prior all-time high in this case, like 330, or what is this, 330? Yeah, about 330-ish region, 325 to 330-ish region long term, but I don't know what time frame you're looking at there, as you did not specify, so I don't really know where to go with it. Alrighty, cool. Luke Reeves says, hey buddy. Hello, sir. Been following the channel since Bitcoin at oh my god, $3,500. So that must have been 2019. Fucking nice, man. Thanks for that, man. Very much appreciated. Wow. That's very kind, man. Thank you. QNT. Is this Quant? Quant. Yeah, it is Quant. It is Quant. This thing's still around. Holy fuck. Another 2017 shitcoin that's actually survived a bit, it looks like. Kind of hard to read on the weekly. Let's see what the daily says, because oh nope, you did not give a time frame on it. You know, it looks very similar to a lot of the other altcoin charts that we've seen today. Again, another higher low within the context of essentially what is shaping up to be some sort of an ascending triangle right here. Just, you know, you don't even need to know the fucking name of it. It's basically just a reaccumulation formation, and I would be looking for it to test the top side of this, you know, at about 47.5, and very likely it's going to break to the upside, as well as we do see Matic, and I think what was the other one? I forget what the other one was that we looked at that were already leading to the upside. And I'd imagine that this one probably does fall through as well. So I'm generally favoring market analysis over singular analysis. But even then, I mean, this one does have a higher low right here, so I do like that. We're actually not suggesting hidden bullish divergence just yet, but I would actually supersede the call on this one and say that, yes, it is going to be that, especially with the daily TSI flipping around, potentially even giving a bullish signal maybe in the next couple of days. If that gets ticked off, if that actually does happen, yes, I'd be looking for a retest of the highs of this formation and very likely a breakout. You can have a target on this one as well, based off of the range 33.5 to 40, let's call it 48. What was that, 33 to 48, about 15 bucks. So what are we looking at, like 63-ish region? You know, somewhere north of 60 is where I'd be looking for overall, again, if it breaks above the top side. But just for now, short term, medium term, I'd be looking for it to have a short term move 42, medium term about probably the top side of that range, and follows through with everything else. I do think that it looks generally good here. All right, we got Abac Dynamics says, does Elsa have control alt delete buttons? She does have control alt delete buttons. She's also in the process of, oh no, she's got her computer back. Okay, sweet. All right, good. Goddamn. Oh, those bastard AMD computers causing all sorts of mental issues. Brian K, what's up, Mr. Brian? CRV USD Binance on the daily. Okay, I got you, man. I got you. CRV. Yes, okay, that's right. CRV USD daily Binance. Okay, again, extremely similar chart to what we've seen several times today. I do think that this one is not as strong as a lot of the other charts that we've seen today. Let's move this back so we can actually fucking see here. Like, this is what I'd be looking for. And let's see, how's it shaping up overall? So yeah, it kind of did break its formation earlier, it looks like, later last week, in fact. I'm a little bit more hesitant on this one. Let's see what the weekly looks like really quickly. Did you say a daily? Yeah, you did say a daily. Okay, I am inclined to make an excuse for this one. Again, mostly based off of market analysis here rather than singular analysis, but we do see, if I put back onto my trend lines right here, yeah, it did technically break this one from last week, and it did play out a little bit of a downside, but we can actually move that down once again. This is why I don't like playing formations, to be honest with you, because you can redraw a lot of these ones, and technically speaking, it is the proper thing to do. As a trader, though, do I like that? No, because that's just a fucking failed trade. and it's like, what's the reason for a failed trade? Well, you don't really have like a good one there. It's like you drew them fucking wrong. It's like, no. It needs to be a lot more well executed, a lot more well documented. So that is actually why one of the reasons why I'm not a pattern trader first myself. Although I will pay attention to them, just kind of understand. But as it is right now, do we see anything of particular note here? I actually want to go down to the low term timeframes on this one. If anything, this one actually will print some hidden bearish divergence on the 4 hour with any sort of a close here or lower. I know you didn't ask about a 4, but if that does happen in the next 2 hours, keep an eye on this one. If it does close here or lower below 289 and a half, I would look for this one to come all the way back down to 255, and that's going to destroy what I'm going to say on the daily right now. So assuming that doesn't happen, assuming that does not happen, I would generally be looking for this one to follow the rest. Again, given that the TSI is kind of within that same posturing that we do see along the market, this one's definitely a little bit more on the weaker side, but your sort of short-term target, or sorry, medium-term target would be about 358, 360-ish region. Assuming that the 4 hour signal does not get fulfilled, does not confirm. Okay, let's see. Ali Musavi says, go buy. Stop being dramatic. You love AMD. I love their stock, man. Hey, great stock, fucking phenomenal stock. But I'm not so sure about their hardware, man. I've had nothing but fucking tears with all of their equipment that I've ever gotten, man. So fair enough. I understand that people get very gang-like with their Intel versus AMD conversations. Look, man, I just want something that fucking works, and AMD has not been good to me in my 3 or so times of trying them. But you know what, man? I will gladly take that anyways, and let's fucking thrust that dildo in my bunghole for the 4th time, because I don't fucking learn. Jesus, man. Nasty, real nasty today. Tokyo Channel says, no one ever asks about Litecoin anymore. Do you think it's pretty much lost its relevance considering stronger alts like Ethereum exist? I mean, as long as shitcoiners exist, Litecoin will exist. I mean, you still got Charlie Lee out there talking about Litecoin on CNBC, and he's still pulling in this narrative that like Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin's gold, which doesn't make much sense, but it's kind of strange. Like, he obviously knows what the fuck he's saying, but then he goes and says something like that. It's like, what are you talking about? No, I don't think it's lost its relevance. I think that it's lost its like shining coat of paint, because it's not so new anymore, and it's just not as appealing to the people who want like the fucking moonshot, right? But as far as its charts goes, it would say that this is very much not irrelevant, if you will. Now, is it leading the market? Is it strong? Is it in the first, is in like the first movers? No. It's certainly not. It's certainly not, as you can see. But what I'd expect if it was irrelevant, I'd expect to see like the dead heartbeat chart, which we do not see here. In fact, we see quite the opposite. This one's going through accumulation between about 2018 to where we're at in about 2021, and now breaking out. And I imagine it's going to follow the rest of the market, albeit in a weaker variety. But yes, it very likely does follow the market. If this one was irrelevant, I would be looking for the dead heartbeat chart, not something that actually pops back above the accumulation zone. That's very indicative that it does, it's going to join the rest of the market rally. Again, more or less resting on the laurels of the market rather than its own. But, that is the name of the game right now. And this is the time to kind of be playing those sorts of things. What's up, Yasek? I see you, man. I see you, my friend. Abatonix says, thanks for everything, Krown. Let's throw down on a new CPU. Oh, man, it's all good. Elsa's going to have to learn to put it together herself. How about that? She'll have to actually do something. No, just kidding, man. No, I think for the next computer I'll definitely have to do Intel once again. I've been chomping at the bit. Would I like to do the dishes? Well, I checked downstairs and I actually still have a peignoir, so it looks like no. Anyways, let's see. We got Mr. Divi Ninja over here. Opinion on alts running if Bitcoin drops to 35 to 45,000 bucks, or do they all fall? Okay, very, very good question here. So the way that it typically works within this rotational market is that Bitcoin gets to go first, kind of sets the tone, sets the pace, and then alts kind of follow in varying degrees of relative strength. Some alts even actually move before Bitcoin too. You saw it this year with the DeFi sector, kind of the first movers, and like your links, your very strong alts as well. Some of those moved a little bit first and more aggressively as well. But for the most part, most alts move at, a little bit like 1B to Bitcoin, if not worse. And so the question is, opinion on alts if Bitcoin drops to 35 to 45,000 bucks. Here's what I would say definitively. Versus US dollar, alts will follow, meaning that alts will drop and they'll probably drop more. So when you're looking at alts, you typically see alts do very, very well when versus their Bitcoin pairing when Bitcoin is ranging on your higher term timeframes. And when I say on your higher term timeframes, nothing less than a goddamn daily. And we're really talking about, you know, the trend on daily, 2-day, 3-day, weekly, essentially. And in this case right here, Bitcoin is more or less ranging, of course. Now, if Bitcoin breaks range, how would it do that? Well, breaking below 45,000 bucks would certainly do that. I would be looking for everyone to also break formation as well, regardless of what their chart looks like. Maybe save for like a handful of very strong alts, you know, the usual contenders, the ones that have been acting very well during this past cycle here. Those are probably gonna be the ones, if anyone is gonna do it. Versus their Bitcoin pairings, that's a little bit more of a difficult conversation, because we actually have seen scenarios where Bitcoin will break formation on the higher term timeframes and Bitcoin dominance will come down even further. It's rare, but it actually has happened a couple times in history. However, it is certainly the exception to the rule. And the general rule is that altcoins will get hit on the head in general across the board more than Bitcoin on their US dollar pairing, also meaning that their Bitcoin pairing is going to go down a little bit as well. So again, that's only if Bitcoin really breaks range, and that's below about 45,000 bucks. As long as Bitcoin ranges here, it's really, you know, time to be looking at altcoins, because they're going to be the main beneficiaries of this sort of stagnation in Bitcoin. It allows them to kind of party around a bit. So hopefully that directly addressed your question there. Hey, what's up, George Serp? George Serp says, hey, Krown, can you take a look at Bake BUSD 4 hour? Okay, all right. Bake BUSD. You can't do it versus USD. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you do have to do it versus BSC or BUSD. Very, very good. Very, very good. This is a daily right here, popped above the last major high. I'd be looking for this one to run up to the 263, 264 high right here. Short term, does it have a little bit of a pullback? Probably yes, if I had to guess, just by passing your prior time high, or sorry, your prior high on this run. Could easily come down to like $2, but I'd be looking for $2 to be a bit of a basing region. Long term though, I do like it. Daily tells a story. Daily TSI having that same bullish cross right around the edge of the bullish buy zone that we spoke about several times in a lot of the other charts that we've been looking at. So I do favor that, and daily RSI getting back in the bullish control zone as well. Again, not a whole hell of a lot of history here, but at least, you know, for the history that we do have, it's suggesting some more upside. And again, you know, this is very much consistent with what we see across the market. So I do like that as well. Okay, cool. Thanks for that, Hey Joe, but I suspect that there's a message that follows somewhere around there and I can't find it. So I will, I'll keep an eye out for that, man. Hey, what's up, Wick? He says, short it, baby, get it down. Now, Bitcoin's kind of recovering already. You know, that quick little boredom call right there, quickly getting reverted, unfortunately. And we just watch Bitcoin slowly but surely grind up. Again, I do think that in the underlying market dynamics, this is actually really compelling over here. When you see negative funding rates alongside price action like this, it's probably going to grind its way a little bit higher. It's very, very likely to. You're getting paid to hodl longs right now, and you're seeing all sorts of continuation divergences to the upside on the short-term timeframes here too. So I do think Bitcoin more or less holds its own, at least for the time being. I really don't have a reason to be bearish as long as Bitcoin, or even on the short-term timeframe, as long as Bitcoin's above about let's call it 54. Oh no, you know, on a 4 hour. Okay, cool. Let's see. PRG says potential long-term bottom for AAV on TSX. Okay, I'm looking at Canadian stocks once again, and I do have to remind myself I do need to get off the stream in the next like 5 or so minutes. So I will give you a little bit of a warning on that. But for what we have right here on the 4 hour, looking pretty damn good. But you asked about long-term. Is this potential long-term bottom? Yes, it is. It actually is looking like it. Wow, you're actually catching this one at one of the more interesting moments. This is typically where I like to trade these sorts of things. So above the 200 simple and 200 exponential average, it's going to get its first potential chance to open and close above. I'd be having a long-term target up to the 377 at about 430, 440-ish region. Weekly RSI telling the story right here. Back in the bullish control zone for the first time in a while. Looking good after a consolidation there. Damn, I do like that. Daily's continuation. Daily hidden bullish evidence right here. Back in the bullish control zone. Daily TSI looks like it is going to cross up again today as well. Yeah, I do like this for continuation, and I do think that the major low is in. And there's also a very easy way to be managing this on the other side. Just looking at the 200 exponential average right here, I'd be looking at that as a management point. point, and I'd be happy to be bullishly biased as long as it's above there. Just classic fucking move, classic play right there. Alrighty, cool. Okay, Rafael Fernandez. What's up, Mr. Fernandez? I want to see crypto ESS USD, not ESS stocks. Sorry, man. I just thought I'd save you some pain because the ESS USD is probably going to look like absolute bullshit over here as we looked at it before. But you have to specify in the future, man. Apologies for the annoyingness, as I do understand that is annoying. But looking at this, I'm not getting too much from this chart, to be honest with you. If anything, I'm going to go with the market analysis here and probably does pop back up. I don't like this one in general, though. The reason being because it really does not trade all that often. It probably has extremely low liquidity, probably extremely low eyes on it. It seems like it only trades on one exchange, which is not the best sign either. But because the market is generally strong here, I probably would be looking for it to pop back up somewhere around about 1 cent for like a medium term target. And you know, if it really wants to get going, 1.5 cent would be an interesting area as well. But for right now, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Long term, do I like charts like this? Fuck no, I do not. But I do think that it probably joins the market at least in the short and medium term timeframes, and that will imply some upside here, very likely. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Meccan? Ethereum USD 4-hour and 24-hour. We can do that one really quickly. 25.50 right here. Daily is looking good. Still looking at 28.50 target, and 4-hour is grinding around the prior all-time high. I do like this setup just in general. 4-hour RSI consolidating around the bullish control zone, typically going to be generally good here. I'd be looking at a bit of a, let's see, do I have trend lines right here? I actually do have trend lines. Okay, we can actually move this one down. I'd be happy to be bullish on basically all time frames, especially as long as above about 24.80. That would be my bias buster for a short-term time frame move back down to about 23.60, 23.80ish region. Sorry, 23.70. In fact, cut those two to the middle. But long term, do I think that is continuing to the upside here? Yeah, I do, man. I do. The weekly is very strong. I'm still looking at 28.50 as a major target, and then 3300 as the big one for this next move. I still like the daily TSI looking like it wants to turn up. Daily RSI, put in a 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence right around the edge of the bullish control zone. Yeah, I'm going to be bullish on this one. Short-term downside moves very likely get picked up. I'm bullish on this one. Alrighty, cool. Okay, last one. I think this is the last of the last. Okay, we got Qasim Malik says, are the projected price predictions for alt and Ethereum contingent on Bitcoin closing above $59,000? No, it's those are contingent upon Bitcoin not breaking the range to both the upside or the downside right now. In fact, when Bitcoin starts moving, it's eyes on Bitcoin, not on altcoins. Okay, or can we expect bullish even if Bitcoin goes sideways downward? If Bitcoin goes sideways, I would expect altcoins to get their day in the sun. That's when they're probably going to do the best. If Bitcoin goes downwards, we need to put a contingency on this. If Bitcoin breaks range to the downside, where's your range low? I mean, basically your last low, your last low right here. You'd also say $45,000 as well. But in this case, I mean, if Bitcoin takes out this last $49,000 low, it's extremely likely to do it as well. It's going to be continuation essentially. Then yes, I'd be looking for altcoins to follow in that direction as well. Now, if Bitcoin breaks the upside, if Bitcoin breaks above $60,000 and holds, I would be looking for altcoins to very likely follow versus US dollar. But again, to be very specific here, versus their Bitcoin pairings, that's when I don't really think that, or it would be too hard to tell right now. I would imagine that usually when Bitcoin trends, altcoin versus USD will go with Bitcoin in that direction, but altcoin versus Bitcoin pairings will go down as Bitcoin typically outpaces them. We actually did not see that interplay on the last high on Bitcoin, but to be fair, Bitcoin was not trending right here. Bitcoin was essentially ranging on the highs before putting before putting in what is now the all-time highs. So I would say that in general, that's going to be true, and it needs to come with like very specific areas. So to the downside, there's going to be, you could certainly say that at $49,000. If you want to go by the book, you'd say $45,000. I think $49,000 would certainly work here. To the upside, technically, if you want to go by the book, you'd say $63,000. Again, I would say you could probably be a little more aggressive than that, around $60,000. For looking for that upside breakout as well. So as always, it needs to be contained with itself, and it needs to come with all these contingencies on both sides, because it's not just like a black or white sort of explanation. It needs to be combined with like all the different all the different scenarios here. It mostly comes down to what Bitcoin's doing on the daily range and above. And in this case, again, very, very simply put, $49,000 to about $60,000 as it is right now. That's where things start to really change around for myself as far as trending moves. As long as it's not above or below that region, we are ranging, and altcoins generally going to be fine in my experience here. Anyways, I think that is going to be it for myself. My voice is absolutely wrecked. I want to say a massive thank you for joining on in today, because it's been an absolute pleasure, even though I've been struggling a bit with my English languages today, but hopefully a good night of sleep should revert that. And with that said, I want to wish you well once again. Take care, and hopefully see you very soon.